Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to click the like and subscribe buttons because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to take a look at this Zelos Swordfish 40, and this is the latest release from local brand, from local brand Zelos. They operate out of Singapore. I would say they have a really big following. For the past 10 years or so, they've been churning out fantastic dive watches, great value watches, and I gotta take this time to thank the guys at Zelos for sending over this watch for review. This is a loan set. I do need to return the watch upon filming the review. Thank you very much, Zelos, for trusting me to review your watch. So this being the latest launch from the brand, you can definitely find this one online. Just log on to zeloswatches.com. You can find this watch at its launch price of US $299, and I'm gonna tell you right from the start, this watch is a specs monster. In terms of specs, you're really getting a lot of watch for the money. For US $299, you are getting very good build quality and very good materials such as sapphire crystals with AR coating, full solid bracelet, and we're gonna talk about this upgraded bracelet later on in this video review. I'd like to take some time to talk about this latest box, that Zelos shipped their watches with. So this one here is the latest design. Previously they had this leather pouch or leather roll kind of design. Okay, so this one here is made of aluminum and it's got some kind of magnetic closure here. And I would say this one here is really useful because it doubles up as a watch case, and we've got a slot here for keeping your rubber straps and all that. So overall, I think this is a really great design, very useful watch case here given by Zelos whenever you purchase one of their watches. So I've just zoomed in the lens a little bit as I start to share with you more on the design and the specs of this watch here. The latest release of the Swordfish 40, we've got a whole new color palette to the overall Swordfish family. This launch here, they have 7 colorways. We've got the orange, light blue ones that are fully lume dials, and of course we've got the black standard version. And for this one that is sent in for review, this one here has the teal dial and bezel colorway, and I think this one here, I'm just so happy they've sent this one over. For me, I rate this as my favorite color of the entire launch. The change from the previous generation is that from the sunburst dial, they've changed to sort of a brush fume dial color design. Alright, so as I bring it closer to the lens, you can see that the fume dial has got this brushing over here. And yet another change from the previous generation of Swordfish 40 is that the bezel insert here, is changed to sapphire instead of ceramic. So previous generation, they had the brush and matte looking ceramic bezel or ceramic bezel insert. For the latest generation, this one here has the sapphire crystal look, the glass look to it, and I would say it's shinier and it really matches the dial very well. For the teal dial and the purple variants, they have carefully and meticulously color matched the bezel insert to the dial. Okay, so in previous videos, I've explained that Zelos, they are one of the rare companies who bother to match the date wheels, but I think this time they've outdone themselves by matching the bezel insert. Great effort by these guys from Zelos. Now the entire watch case is identical to previous Swordfish 40 generation. We've got a case size of 40mm, so the bezel as well as the watch case right on 40mm, thereby giving the model name Swordfish 40. We've got a thickness here of 12.2mm from the base of the engraved case back here to the top of the flat sapphire crystal, which has an AR coating on the underside. We've got a 20mm lug width, and this is going to be a strap monster. Put it on a sailcloth, put it on a rubber, put it on the stock bracelet. It's just going to fit well, it's just going to look fantastic. L to L measurement here is also really manageable, comes in at 45.1mm, so no issues at all. It's going to be very wearable. The wearing experience is going to be very comfortable. And I'll say in terms of overall dimensions, measurements and all that, I think this Swordfish 40 has got almost everything spot on. And powering the Swordfish 40 is the NH35, the ever reliable workhorse movement from Seiko instruments. And I would say this is the staple of all entry-level micro-brand dive watch. Let us now move on and talk a little bit on the case build quality as well as the design, the overall design of the Swordfish 40. So let me start by the biggest upgrade to the latest generation of Swordfish 40. There are not too many changes done to the watch case itself, but in terms of bracelet, I would say this one here is 200 times better than the previous model. Alright, so I bought the previous model of Swordfish 40 last year, and this time around, the latest generation, we are seeing an upgrade. We've got a better clasp here. This clasp is much nicer. It's got micro adjust here, and it is activated via this push tab here. So there are 4 levels of micro adjust. On the fly adjustments here, no more fiddling with the pin or the micro dot adjustments. And this clasp here is much nicer and simpler, easier to operate via the trigger buttons here. No more second flip lock. I very much prefer this design. And coming to this part here, we've got female end links. And in terms of wearability, this one here is going to improve very much because it sort of fits the wrist better. You're not seeing anything that's jutting out, unlike the previous generation. Alright, so I gotta be honest with you, the previous generation had male end links, but it wasn't a big problem. Okay, but it is always good to upgrade into this female end link here, thereby giving you a much better fit. So in terms of case design, I always felt that the Swordfish family, they share a little bit of similarities when it comes to design language. They are similar to the Seiko Samurai, right, by way of this angular type of design. So you can see here over at the lugs, alright, all through here to the case sides, to the crown guards and all that. So it is very similar to a Seiko Samurai with all the angular cuts, alright, no curves, alright, everything is angular, very chiseled look to it. Yeah, that's the word I always use to describe the Seiko Samurai. So as we speak, I'm just going to bring in the Samurai and we just take a look. But the similarity is not exactly like for like. We're not saying that the Swordfish is based on the Samurai, okay? So it definitely has its own identity. Bezel action here is top notch. Very nice, firm clicks. You've got a 120 click bezel here, and there is almost no backplay. And lastly, I'd like to take some time to bring your attention to all these facets on the steel ring here just outside the sapphire crystal. I don't know what to call this part. Okay, so it is the part that is before the bezel insert. Okay, so we've got the sapphire crystal, we've got the steel ring here, and we've got the bezel insert. This part here, I have no name for it, but it does have facets, okay, and it is a 12-sided design. Alright, please comment in the section below if you know what this shape is called, okay. Really nice, okay, something that is very unique to the entire Swordfish design. And now I'm going to spend some time to talk about the dial design of the latest generation of Swordfish 40s. The main difference would be the finish, the level of finishing done on the dial here. We've got a brush full-made dial instead of the regular sunburst or sunray dial. And also, I've mentioned earlier on in this video, we've got a full-made bezel insert. I don't know how these guys do it, but the attention they have given to the overall color matching is just outstanding. We've got a matching date wheel as well. There's also a little bit of changes to the text here, dial printing and text here. So at the 6 o'clock zone here, we are seeing a change. Instead of the word automatic, we are seeing the depth rating of 300 meters or 1000 feet. So small little changes. I do like the fact that again, they have color matched the text to the tip of the seconds hand as well as the triangle of the lume pip here. And now it's time to check out the lume on the Zelos Swordfish. Alright, so Zelos, I think their lume level and lume quality have really surpassed Seiko. Right, this one here glows bright like a torch, and again we're seeing the two-tone lume here. The chapter ring here has got a different color than the handset, the markers, as well as the bezel insert. So overall, this level of lume brightness, I would say, is just fantastic. And now we've zoomed out for a stage wrist shot of the Swordfish on my wrist. This is a 17cm wrist, and again, as mentioned in my earlier videos on the Swordfish, this is the sweet spot. Okay, 40mm dive watch, 39, 40, 41. I think you won't go wrong with a dive watch of this size. And let's do a quick size comparison with the Seiko Samurai. So at first look, you would see that it is very much the smaller watch compared to the 44mm Seiko Samurai. The difference in size here is evident, right? Be it in terms of case size or in terms of case thickness. At just one look, you can tell right from the start that the Swordfish is not a very big dive watch. So when compared against the BB58, you will see that they are more or less in the same size category. Okay, I would say this is sort of a smaller dive watch design. They're very similar. This one here, the Tudor is 39 and the Swordfish is 40mm, and very similar even in terms of thickness, both coming in at 12 for the Tudor versus the 12.2 for the Zelos. So in summary, I would say the Swordfish 40 in its latest generation is a killer watch. All right, at US dollars 299 launch price, I think it is a steal. Okay, so please, if you can, if there's still stock after watching this video, please go on to Zelos' website and steal some watches from Elshan, because I really got to thank him for the effort that his team has put in to design these watches, all right, and to produce this kind of quality, all right, for the money that you're paying for. I was also very impressed when I handled this watch, because prior to handling this generation of Swordfish, I actually felt that the one that I bought and sold last year had more sharp edges here all over the watch case. We were talking about the inside of the lux here, as well as the inscription on the case back. But for this latest generation, this latest watch that I handled, all right, there are no sharp edges anymore. This one here definitely has a higher level of refinement in terms of workmanship as compared to the previous generation of Swordfish 40. So there you have it. That was my full review of the Zelos Swordfish 40. This is the latest generation, and we've got lots of upgrades, and this bracelet here is really worth the money you're paying for, right? At the launch price, this is a crazy steal deal, right? So if you can still find these watches available, if there's stock, please log on to Zelos' website and click away, purchase your new Zelos, all right? And you will thank me later, because you snagged yourself a really nice watch for the money. All right? Until the next video, this is Andy in Singapore, together with my assistants, George. Pixie, we're gonna say goodbye for now. Bye-bye.